转啦啦多少米呀风声，转啦啦啦啦多少米呀风声，转啦啦啦，安吉乐在可是个为了光。
Government House. I'm Regis Cartwright. This is ZNS.
Moving families from dependency to self-sufficiency through economic empowerment. The Department of Social Services in Grand Bahama, under the auspices of the Ministry of Social Services Information and Broadcasting, presents the official opening of Grand Bahama Temporary Shelter, live from Pine Forest 8 Mile Rock.
Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, world. Welcome to Immediate Response, a special edition coming to you live from Fruitport, Grand Bahama, at the Pine Forest in 8 Mile Rock. And I'm joined by the legendary anchor here in Freeport, Remiko Knowles. Good to see you, Remiko.
Thank you so much.
And you
Great
look
to
well.
be here.
This is a great day to be here in Grand Bahama.
Absolutely is, and I'm excited for those residents who will get the opportunity to benefit from this complex. And so definitely is an exciting day. Good to have you in Grand Bahama as well.
It's good to be here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Make sure I leave the suit when you go.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're here, of course, for the official opening of the Grand Bahama Temporary Shelter.
Yes.
And Remiko, this means a whole lot, particularly for Grand Bahama.
Yes.
Who've endured so many storms and, over the years.
Absolutely, and that's why I was alluding to it earlier. Residents in Grand Bahama over the past, 2 decades really have
Yes.
endured so many, not just with economic hardships, but with the storms that we've endured for so many years. And so any break that we can get is exciting. And so for those residents who will get to experience and benefit from this temporary housing unit, as the minister said when I spoke to him about 6 months ago, that it gives them an opportunity to move from dependency to self-sufficiency.
Very much so.
And
That's
so
right.
that is exciting. And if, because this is an important ministry.
Very much so. I like what the minister calls it. He calls it the Jesus Ministry.
Jesus Ministry.
And it's really the Jesus Ministry.
Absolutely.
To help so many people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and particularly around here with the storms that you've had. And so this is really apropos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as he mentioned, for those persons who have been signing up to stay here, for months.
Yes.
Just looking at this property, because this has been sitting here just as a standalone property for so long. And so for everyone that saw the need to turn this into something, and not just for the residents in West Grand Bahama, but for anyone in Grand Bahama who may have fallen on hard times, this gives them an opportunity to catch themselves.
That's a good
And I think they'll be staying here for, about 3 months, 3 to 6 months, depending on their need. And so that's a great start to someone who have fallen on hard times, and so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I know Grand Bahama has gone through a whole lot, and this is really, the timing of this is just great.
Absolutely.
To have this here, somewhere to turn to,
Absolutely.
During the difficult times of the storms. And I've been hearing some horror stories of the storms.
I don't even like to reflect on.
Oh, that's right. Someone from CNN called me during the storms, and they'd asked me about a few things, and I had to tell them I was in Nassau. I was not in the eye of the storm. I didn't get the brunt of it. I had explained that to them, and I knew what the people in Freeport was feeling.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So Again, this is a great initiative, and I think that many will benefit from this because this is ongoing. And then I also know that this is just the first of many to come on Grand Bahama.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, about 6 months ago, I had the opportunity to stand in this parking lot and watch as those persons began or completed the renovations.
Wow.
And I was told that it is all amenities included.
Yes.
I know everyone wants to see what inside looks like. And I'm excited to see what inside looks like as well. All amenities included. And like I said, I spoke to the minister who was responsible for this ministry, and here's what he had to say about this complex.
This is the result started under the former minister, my predecessor, the late Obadiah Hercules Wilschcombe.
The final touches are being made to the housing units located in 8 Mile Rock. Minister LaRota says it gives him great joy to be able to assist those in need, but he stresses that these units are only for temporary shelter, not long-term housing.
This is to assist the poorest of the poor, to help them get through a rough time, but also to work along with them to get from dependency to empowerment. So we're looking at probably 3-month stays here.
And while it is only to assist those who may need social assistance, consideration will be given based on an individual's circumstances.
This property is not just to assist those in West Grand Bahama. And so anyone in Grand Bahama who meets the requirement, who are means tested and qualify for temporary shelter assistance, could apply to stay here.
Officials say applications for assistance are available at any social services department. Charlemagne Fernando, Social Services Director, acknowledges the hardships many residents face on the island.
The Department of Social Services and certainly the ministry does not like to see families out there on the streets sleeping in cars and struggling to that level. That's not something we're used to in the Bahamas, and we don't want to see that continue. So anything we can do to try to address this issue, we are happy to do. And so we are so pleased that this first temporary shelter facility is coming online, and it's just about ready to be open.
And so there you have it. As mentioned, I'm excited for the residents who will benefit because that matters. And there may come a point in our lives when we fall on hard times. And as the old adage goes, today for me, tomorrow may be for you. Of course, we don't pray for that, but you just never know. And so excited for those residents who will get to benefit from this property.
Thank you, Ramiko.
You're welcome.
Great job. Appreciate you. And we'll be joined momentarily by the legendary Dr. Deborah Bartlett, the special consultant to the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, and she's been doing some wonderful television programs. Debbie, what's your thoughts on this today?
Historically significant, but it's really an expression of, I believe, vision and compassion by the leadership. But you know, let me first of all say it's always great to be in Freeport. Every time I look at the contrast as we drive the streets. You were talking when we came in about the hurricanes, and I was learning from Denzel Swain how Inch how when you see the stripped trees, that's one hurricane, and the green shrubs represented another that was cut right down. So it's a lot of history. But then there was the bauxite site, and the way we serve the world in such a low-keyed way, because Denzel was telling me that the sand that came there came and from building the walls in the United States and Mexico came from Freeport, Grand Bahama, since President Trump. What am I saying about this shelter? We have a destiny in Freeport that this will become the commercial center. But in any country and environment, there will always be those of us who experience the valley. And do we have the support system in place to reach? I like what you said. Today for you, tomorrow for me. And that really speaks to loving your neighbor as yourself. And just having this experience and working with you over the year, Mrs. Spence, our host. I just always want to say how much I honor you.
Thank you.
And the great work you're doing.
I appreciate it.
And I think you and Remiko represent the good men we have in this country.
Thank you.
And again, if we're going to reduce the need for shelters, we got to have more good men.
That's right.
And because with your leadership, the way you lead, when we look at what creates the need, you can have a family crisis, we can have natural disasters, we can have poor management. What this means today, this is only what we can see.
Yes.
What we can't see is are usually the programs that social services have for those who are in need.
That's right.
Because there's a pathway.
That's right.
There's a pathway to a better life.
That's right. That's right, Dr. Bartlett. That's right. Remiko, any other comments? I know.
No, just as she mentioned, we've come a long way.
Great community.
Definitely. She talked about just seeing the trees. When I think about it, I can remember just seeing just barren bush basically after the storms have passed.
Wow.
But what we look at today is the forestry growing back. And I think that speaks to us as Grand Bahamians. We go through, but we always come back, no matter what it is that we've gone through. We keep going through, but we always come back. And that's what I love about being not just a Bahamian, but a Grand Bahamian.
Yeah. And that's a defining spirit, eh? Being able to bounce back from the adversity.
Absolutely.
Someone once said adversity is that particular thing that introduces a man to himself. When you're faced with adversity, you know who your friends are.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything else, but you're able to bounce back from that adversity.
That's true.
I congratulate and commend the people of Grand Bahama for being able to bounce back.
Absolutely.
And not say die and just give up.
Absolutely.
Keep coming back.
And it is easy to give up at times.
It is easy.
It is
very
so easy to give up.
Especially if you have people whispering in your ears, why don't you just give up?
I know.
This is not going to work out for you this time.
You know, it's amazing that you should talk about that because only this week a young man sent me a text and said, it's nothing I could do. I just give up.
Wow.
I just may as well end life. And I said, listen, you got the DNA for greatness. I said, don't try to escape hell on earth. Because hell, you can't escape forever if you go there.
That's
And
right.
you kill yourself. And when we look at the number of suicides in the country, it is, and we can't take those desperate reaches for granted.
Right.
When somebody say, I have gone far enough, I can't take it any further, I want to give up. But you know, it's just the right word, the right opportunity, like this shelter provides, because Maslow's law says you need food and shelter.
That's right.
And
Basic.
just the basic expressions of love. That young man texted me this morning coming up here. But guess what he did? He sent devotions.
Oh my God.
Because, you know.
What a story.
Yes, you know what? Because, I mean, you know, you found ways to go and help the family.
Yes.
And sometimes systems don't work as fast when somebody thinking about suicide right then. But you know what it should do? And this is why I honor the social service workers or the social workers. The things that don't make the headline.
Yeah.
The number of social workers who put their hands in their pocket to help somebody else, to inspire them and say, no, you don't jump over the cliff. There's help. We have the shelter in the back. It's a first-class shelter. Now, we want you to, when you are finished this, to know how to come back.
That's right.
Because it's something that you have to do as well.
That's right.
And so, when we talk about the shrub that you're talking about coming down there and it's turning to green, green means money.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's life. You got to bounce back.
It's true.
You said something that is also extremely important. One of the best experiences in the world is to be in the valley.
Yes.
You know why?
Right.
Friends, trials separate friends from foe.
Exactly.
You need to know that.
You need to know who's
You
who.
said that. I got that right.
That is right. Yes.
No, so everything works together for good when we have perspective, when we have vision. when we say we can make it to a better future.
That's right.
And so what social services is doing is being that hope center.
Yeah.
So that, listen, while you get yourself together, this is not a permanent place.
Right.
There should never be in anybody's mind to be a citizen on the dependency line.
Exactly.
We ain't born
Exactly.
for that.
No.
No, you're denying yourself access to the greatness that's in all of us.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we're going to pose Senator Ricardo Lightbourne now, our moderator of the program for the day. Ricardo Lightbourne, good morning, my brother.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ricardo Lightbourne, and I will be your moderator for the proceedings this morning. And it is indeed a pleasure for me to welcome you to West Grand Bahama for the official opening of the Grand Bahama Temporary Shelter. You see, just a little bit here. I was introduced to West Grand Bahama in 1969, spending my summer right up the road there in Seagrape with my grand aunt, Ismay Francis, and Edith Swan. You see, this was a wonderful time for me to come down here from Nassau and spend that summer. Then I go back to 1970 when my mother, the late Dorothy Lightbourne, was assigned to teach at Pinedale Primary, and then Martintown Primary, Hawksville Primary, then back to Martintown Primary. And then my father, the late Oswald Lightbourne, was working with the Bahamas Government Audit Department, and he got transferred here as well. Now, I was celebrating because I had just passed the common entrance to go to QC. And they told me, no, you come into Grand Bahama with us, you are going to go to St. Paul's. So you know I was upset, right? But every weekend was very special to us to be here in West Grand Bahama. You see, my mother was dropping this off here, this off there, and it is a pleasure for me to see some of the bad boys here today that she had to drop off things to and explain to their parents why they were having issues in school. But my mother back in the day was the social service network for this community. Family took care of family, and community lended a hand to help in all facets. This initiative today will help to bridge that gap for many, many families. The Department of Social Services Grand Bahama, under the auspices of the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, you are to be congratulated with this move here this morning. The Honorable Miles LaRota, indeed, sir, welcome to West Grand Bahama, and it's indeed to have you here today. The Honorable Ginger Moxie, indeed a pleasure to have you walk around again and be back home and doing so. The Honorable Kingsley Smith, indeed an honor, sir, to have you here this morning. Senator Russell's no stranger to us. It is good to have him here as well. Administrators, government officials, the clergy, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure to be here today. We will now start our proceedings with the national anthem. We do humbly apologize that the young lady, Skylar Curry from 8 Mile Rock High School, is unable to sing this morning because she was cheering on her house during the house sports day at 8 Mile Rock. And so when you lose your voice, you go to the next best thing. So we'll ask you now to please stand as we have the playing of our national anthem as we give allegiance to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you very much. You can remain standing as I will now call this young man, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, who for many years I covered as a martial arts expert, and so if he gets out of hand, you'll know why. But please welcome Mr. Kenneth Lewis, who will bring the invocation this morning.
Thank you, Ricardo. Bow your heads with me for a moment, please, as we seek the face of God. Let us pray. O gracious God, our Father, who through your Son spoke to the wind and the waves, and they were stilled, who in the midst of the roaring seas and pounding rain provides a shelter that no storm can shake. Therefore, fathers, we gather here this morning and dedicate this temporary shelter for those who find themselves in need of such grace, who need a place to lay their head for themselves and for their children. Father, in your grace and mercy, we ask that you wrap your mighty arms around this place and those who seek its solace and protection. Let your peace calm their affairs, gracious God. Let your strength guard these walls and make them strong and impenetrable. And let your light shine through the darkness. Father, bless those who seek this temporary place of abode, that they may find permanent residence, that they may be owners and not renters, that their cupboards are never bare and their pockets never empty. Always protect your people, O God, both near and far. Lead us, your people here on Grand Bahama, into this new day with a heart of gratitude and hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. Bless the poor, the sick, and the needy in our community. And bless all who are gathered here this morning, especially those who saw this vision to make it a reality, including the workers and all who were a part in the construction and refurbishment. Finally, Father, give us always all we need for our daily living. When we are weary, lighten our load. When we are tired, give us rest. And when we are thirsty, give us grace. Give us drink. Rest your loving arms on our children, our nation, and our people. This we pray through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Before you do sit, give yourself a round of applause. And the reason why is for many of you, especially our visitors from New Providence who ain't used to this weather, give yourself another round of applause that you put on all your clothes to come here to West Grand Bahama. You may now be seated. Such a brisk and fresh morning here in West Grand Bahama. And there is much to come. So for those of you that are visiting us, remember, stay here until Monday. Because Saturday and Sunday is going to be an awful lot of fun. We will now hear from the Assistant Director, Ms. Jody Burrows, who will bring the welcome to us. And she is hyper. She had 3 cups of coffee. So she's ready to welcome you to this occasion, Ms. Bodie.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a very warm welcome to each of you. I respectfully acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guests. The Honorable Ginger Moxie, MP, Minister for Grand Bahama. The Honorable Miles Zarota, Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting. Mr. Kingsley Smith, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Transport. Senator Kirkland Russell. Mrs. Fedra Raming Turnquest, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting. Heads of government departments, inclusive of Mr. Preston Cooper, Family Island Administrator for the City of Freeport. Mr. Ricardo Ferguson, Administrator for West Grand Bahama. Mrs. Deidre Hepburn, our acting director, my colleagues from the Department of Social Services, Reverend Kenneth Lewis, president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, other ministers of the gospel, and our various stakeholders and partners who have contributed to making this day possible. We are deeply honored by your presence as we mark this historic and compassionate milestone, which is the opening of Grand Bahama's first temporary shelter. Today is not simply about the opening of a building. It is about hope, dignity, protection, and our shared responsibility to care for the most vulnerable among us. We appreciate you for taking the time to be here and demonstrating through your presence your commitment to service, collaboration, and community. This shelter stands as a testament to what can be achieved when government agencies, faith-based organizations, and community partners work together with a shared vision. It represents a safety net for those in crisis, relief for families in distress, and reassurance that no one in our community should be forgotten or left behind. Today, we celebrate compassion in action. We celebrate leadership that listens and responds. And most importantly, we celebrate a future where help is within reach and close at hand. On behalf of the organizers and our partners, we request your continuous prayers and dedication to the people of Grand Bahama. May this facility serve as a beacon of hope and a symbol of unity for years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome.
Thank you very much. Before coming to this event today, I took the opportunity to visit the Social Services Office just to get an understanding of what goes on. And let me tell you, I am so proud of the individuals that work in that office. Some of the persons that came in and had conversations with them, some words that the clergy members would not like to hear, they had to endure. But they are very, very strong, very resilient, and I personally want to thank you for what you do for our people here throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Coming to you next is a young man, and I say young man because the Honorable Kingsley Smith, as a used-to-be athlete, as a now politician, it's good to see him, has worked in this area and has grown up here in the West End District. Notice I didn't say West End. I did say West Grand Bahama, because once you cross the creek, you're in West Grand Bahama. Now, there isn't much creek left, but when you cross the causeway, you're in West Grand Bahama. But please do welcome to the podium the Honorable Kingsley Smith, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama.
Thank you, Ricardo. Ricardo and I have a joke about sports. But Ricardo, I just understand where you got your little sporting ability from. That I now know you spent a lot of time growing up in West Grand Bahama. But I stand on the protocol already established. However, I'd like to acknowledge Ministers LaRota and Moxie, Senator Russell, Administrators Ferguson and Cooper, Permanent Secretary Raming, Turnquist, the Reverend clergy, senior government officers, and of course, the wonderful people of West Grand Bahama. Good morning. Today here in Pine Forest, a place that has long represented the strength of our heritage, we add a new layer to that legacy. This facility, the Grand Bahama Temporary Shelter, is a physical manifestation of our refusal to leave anyone behind. In this life, the distance between stability and struggle is often shorter than we care to admit. For many in our community, the difference between a restful night and a night of fear has been a lack of a safe harbor. By opening these doors, we are narrowing the gap. We are saying to the people of this community that their dignity is not negotiable. As the area representative, I am deeply appreciative to the Department of Social Services and the Ministry for their persistence. Thank you, Minister LaRota. To the workers and planners who turned a concept into this reality, I thank you. You have built a bridge. I am proud to see this investment in our people. And I also like to take the opportunity to also thank Mr. George Jimmy Smith for having a wonderful and beautiful building. Think about the anchor of a ship. When a storm hits, the anchor does not stop the wind. It does not stop the waves, but it prevents the vessel from being swept into the rocks. This shelter is an anchor for our people. It provides the stillness required for a person to catch their breath, gather their strength, and plan their next move. It is the pause between a crisis and a comeback. This community understands the weight of nature and the unpredictability of life. We have seen how quickly things can change. Because of that shared history, we must be the first to offer a hand. This building is a promise kept. It proves that we see the invisible struggles of our brothers and sisters. But let us be real about the mission at play. A shelter is a starting point, not a permanent destination. It is a tool for transition, a gear in the machinery of progress. We are here to ensure that when a resident of this constituency falls, they land on solid ground rather than in a void. But solid ground is only the beginning. We are not just offering a mattress and a roof. We are offering a launch pad. In West Grand Bahama, we have no interest in building warehouses for human struggle. We are building an engine for human recovery. If we only provide a bed without providing a path forward, we have failed. This shelter must be a factory of second chances. It must be the place where the momentum of a downward spiral is broken and reversed. My hope, in part, is that this facility to be the final word on the idea that any citizen is disposable. When the world tells a man or a woman that they have no place left to go, West Grand Bahama will tell them, you can start again here. We are investing in the comeback. We are betting on the resilience of our people. We are making it clear that while life may knock you down, the state and this community will provide the platform you need to stand back up. We are not just sheltering bodies. We are salvaging futures. We are not just opening a building today. We are reinforcing the foundational backbone of West Grand Bahama. We are asserting, in the grand scheme of things, that every person who calls this island home deserves the security of a roof and the warmth of a community that cares. Let this place be a symbol of hope, a center of renewal, and a testament to what we can achieve when we prioritize the well-being of many over the comfort of the few. Thank you, and let us continue to build a future where no one is left to face the storm alone. And greetings from West Grand Bahama. Thank you.
Thank you, Kingsley. And yes, Kingsley, I did get some of my athletic ability because I was crazy enough as a young boy from Seagrave Corner trying to run to West End. Mummy was to every corner you could think of here in 8 Mile Rock doing her due. And I, with my cousins, trying to, no, Kingsley, I tried, all right, but I did my level best along the way. You see, being here in West Grand Bahama was quite unique because we never went hungry, because everywhere we went, somebody was cooking and there was something there for everyone to eat. We could play freely. There was fruits everywhere. Go in the yard, do what you want to do and have some fun. And it was awesome time as a young man here in this district. I also found out from my mother why when she come home and she was upset and she want to punish us, she would always say, "This is going to hurt you more than it hurt me." And I realized that after having to deal with Kermit and all these other folks down here in this district teaching, she was tired of beating all day. So when she got home, she was tired and it was hurting her to deal with me and to deal with my siblings. But that's the kind of fun that we had here in this district. Coming to you next is a young lady that my mother was very fond of and our entire family is fond of. And I couldn't understand many years ago why my mother gave me a American Express card when I went to high school in Miami. Before we came home in June, she would always give us a list of things to bring. I need you to go to McQuarrie's. You know where McQuarrie's is on Flagler. Okay. I need you to go to McQuarrie's. I need you to pick up some underpants, some undershirts, some panties, some singlets, some pajamas, and all this other stuff. And don't forget to pack up whatever you have, bring it in the suitcase, and bring it on home. And I was like, but why are we bringing all this stuff home? Because her darlings here in West Grand Bahama is what she wanted it for. I figured the card was for me, but the card was to shop and to bring it home, and that was her life. And this young lady has been a part of my mother's life for many, many years and is now a part of Grand Bahama's life. The Honorable Ginger Moxie, the Minister for Grand Bahama. She's home here and feeling very good. And notice she tapping her feet on the floor because she on solid ground. Please welcome the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie.
Good. Oh, I think this is going. It's so great to be home in Martintown, 8 Mile Rock, better known as Beirut. For those who know, we know, right? I see you, Bringo. I stand on the protocol that has already been established, but do recognize the presence of my cabinet colleague, the Honorable Miles LaRota, Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Kingsley Smith, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Transport, and Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Senator the Honorable Kirkland Russell, distinguished ministers of the clergy, other government officials, and the West Grand Bahama community. Good morning. Today marks an important step forward for the people of West Grand Bahama, and by extension, Grand Bahama Island. The opening of the Department of Social Services temporary shelter in the 8 Mile Rock community represents more than a physical structure. It means hope, it means dignity, and it demonstrates our administration's commitment to the Bahamian people to rescue the most vulnerable and discouraged in our society through targeted support programs, inclusive policies, and community engagement as outlined in our Blueprint for Change. This safe haven will have a direct impact on the lives of those who need it most. It will provide comfort and strengthen the Department of Social Services capacity to assist in times of unimaginable hardship, displacement, and crisis. I commend Minister LaRota, the Department of Social Services, and everyone whose efforts made today a reality. And I also give a shout out to my friend, George Smith, better known as Jimmy, of Seagrape. We're our neighbor in the Rocks. The Ministry for Grand Bahama supports you. And through our CoLab Partnerships for Development Unit, we are also doing our part to bring relief to persons struggling through difficult times. Together, we can advance the government's vision, where compassion guides policy and help is always within reach for every Bahamian. May the shelter serve as a place of safety, healing, and renewed hope for all who pass through its doors. May God bless you, Grand Bahama Island, and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Moxie. And to those of you listening and watching via the ZNS network and all other networks around the country, this is a time for you now to dig deep into your hearts and understand that this concept that we are here today discussing is important to many people trying to get back on their feet. And you may have property, you may have vacancies that is just sitting there, and the social service entity needs as many places as they can find, and this is the time for you to make that phone call and assist. You can't take it when you go. It's there to be used. And remember, if there's no life in a building or something like this, then you're going to have more problems where it can be used. So call, let them know that, listen, I've got a 2-plex, 4-plex, whatever plex you have that can be used to help you in your program because there's a great demand for it. And this is the time for all of us to step up to the plate as we begin the 2026 year to become our neighbor's keeper. I now want to bring to you a young lady that is the family secretary in the ministry that is so unique in terms of how many factions you have? Okay, she's got plenty of factions. See, she's still trying to count. But let me tell you that Ms. Rabbing Turnquest, who is now going to come to you, has got her hands full because not does she just have to deal with the social service component, then there is communication and broadcasting and the whole 9 yards, and you name it, she has to handle it. So she must have that ability to juggle and make some things happen. Please welcome this talented and quiet young lady to the podium, Ms. none other than Ms. Turnquest, to bring now remarks and introduce our minister.
Good morning, and thank you, Master of Ceremonies. I wish to adopt the protocol that has already been duly set. And ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasant task this morning of introducing my minister, and I will say something that he always says to me, make it short. I don't like long introductions. But you know, on this occasion, I'm not going to listen. I think he deserves his due. It is said that if you want to know me, come live with me. And no, we don't live together. However, if you are employed, you know that you spend a number of working hours with people and you get to observe some things. And so since I've been around him, I've observed some things. And to help you get to know him a bit better, I'm going to tell you about him. He values his family. He's a true product of his village, having lived with his grandparents in Crooked Island for a portion of his life. He respects time and is a very disciplined person, and he watches how he uses his time. He is not afraid to speak his truth. He welcomes the views of others, particularly guidance from his administrators and his technical team. He has created an environment for creativity to be born by not stifling the freedom to share new perspectives. He is the husband to lovely Deidre LaRota, a proud father and grandfather. He empathizes also, I want to say, with his staff. He hears the complaints, and he has worked hand in hand with us to systematically address those matters in as much as he has been able to. He is a lawyer by profession, but here's a fun fact, at least it was for me. He is actually a trained chef, And I do believe his specialty is French cuisine. I've listened to him critique a meal to say what's missing and what was overpowering. He sometimes presents with a very stern and stoic demeanor, like a serious person all the time. But once you get to know him, you'll find out that he has a great sense of humor to balance that. Minister Miles LaRota serves as the Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, which is, as Mr. Lightman said, a very vast portfolio. In fact, we say we go from the womb, and sometimes we take you beyond the senior years to the tomb. He also has responsibility for the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, Bahamas Information Services, and many other sections outside of the Department of Social Services. Today, please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, the Honorable Miles LaRota, the Member of Parliament also for the Pinewood constituency. Thank you.
Thank you, P.S. I too stand on the established protocol, but I'd like to acknowledge my cabinet colleague, Halsek, Senator Russell. I guess you've heard the others regurgitating the same thing over and over. Ricardo, I'm very disappointed. You spoke about Kingsley and his sporting exploits. So before I go in my introduction into Grand Bahama, I played in the Catholic Eye Invitational with my Air Fadley Tigers a few years ahead of Richie Adley and Ben Russell. So for those of you like Ramiko over there, he would only have heard about those individuals. And after my playing days, you would know that a couple of the old fogies, Gladstone Boone McPhee, Doug Collins, Chuck Mackey, Tony Crean, Gary Super Johnson, the most pleasant Waitwell Rigby, and I said that tongue-in-cheek, and others, we would take a group of basketball players on what was called then the West Coast Tour. I was actually in the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Northern Gym, when Mark Few, the then assistant coach of Gonzaga, was recruiting one Quinton Triunks. So that tells you I've been around sports for a little while. But since Ricardo could go and give these young boys, I just have to let them know I can show off some more now. The late Duncan Hines was my personal friend. Before Mario Green went away to play for Clem Haskins, I know all of those boys. I know Jimmy out of this area. I know Gary DeGregory. These are individuals I could call by name. So when I come in this part of the woods, Jimmy them is play sports over there. Because I used to root for the Jets. And y'all used to rob us down here. The 8 Mile Rock Crushers. Exactly. But today is indeed a wonderful day. It is particularly so for the Grand Bahama community, as it is a day that signals change, not only in structure, but in lives. I had the opportunity last year to take the public on a tour of this facility through ZNS's coverage, and today we are here again. Today, you will have the opportunity to see our model for the facility by viewing the showroom. The electricity is on, water is in place, televisions are mounted, and the remaining furnishings are the final step. In the weeks ahead, this 10-unit facility will be fully operational. And P.S., before we get ahead of ourselves, you know, the gate stopped there. This is but our first installment on this facility because I believe Mr. Smith has shown his good faith and his ability, and that in the not too distant future that we'll be able to move further. This facility represents far more than just walls and roofs. It is a place that symbolizes restoration, hope, and renewed purpose. It is designed to sustain Bahamians, not merely by providing temporary shelter, but with accompanying programs. It will create an opportunity to uplift minds, strengthen the spirit, and prepare individuals and families to move forward in dignity. I will put this in layman's terms that a 6-year-old should understand. That this place is to bring you from one point where you may be in need, but it don't just come with moving into shelter. It comes with programs that, if followed and executed, will allow you to move out and for us to help the next individuals. Our temporary shelter, I repeat, our temporary shelter is launched around a complete intervention model. What happens while individuals accommodate here matters just as much as where they go next. From the moment someone enters, there is intentional support, structured guidance, training referrals, and more. This means that no one should leave the same way they arrived. This is not a temporary shelter without direction. This is a process of rebuilding, of regaining footing, and of preparing for independence through a transition pathway that leads away from long-term dependency and move towards self-sufficiency. Simply put, it is intended to assist clients to rise. Our approach is holistic, and we recognize that stability requires more than a bed. It requires skills, opportunity, and support. This is why government, apprentices, initiatives, Upskill Bahamas, and technical and vocational opportunities through institutions like BTVI are provided generally for our citizenry. Where possible, such beneficial programs will be integrated into this effort through referrals. While residents are here, our continued support will help to keep them grounded, focused, and ready for elevation. The goal is not just entry, it is progress, not just assistance, but positive outcomes. We also understand that crisis does not exist in isolation. Many of the challenges faced by individuals begin within the family unit, where families are under strain and sometimes tensions are high and conflicts exist. Intervention is required to alleviate the burden, strengthen relationships, all in an effort to keep families together. Programs such as parenting support and family engagement are essential because when families are stabilized, communities are strengthened, and futures are secured. We must return to the principle of being a principle of each one, reach one, because transformation happens when people are supported. Ladies and gentlemen, this work reflects the government compassionate arm, meeting our people where they are while helping them to move forward. This shelter in Pine Forest Apartments is a place where individuals can regroup. And let me be clear, regrouping requires a commitment from clients to accept an intervention. It also requires a system that encourages people to rise in confidence, skill, in responsibility, and in hope.
Residents of this shelter will have access to practical learning sessions in budgeting, retooling, workforce preparation, and personal development. We want people to be excited about creating the best versions of themselves. We are also proud to have secured the leadership of the veteran retired social worker from Grand Bahama community to manage this shelter. With her years of experience, Ms. Dorothea Gomez would lead these programs with wisdom, care, and accountability. Under her guidance and through strategic partnerships, our program will extend beyond the provision of shelter. Eventually, every person who is provided shelter through the Department of Social Services, whether at this location or elsewhere, will be afforded an opportunity to rise through our programs and promote economic empowerment. As Grand Bahama continues its journey towards restored prominence, this government remains committed to being a constant support, and my ministry will remain the social safety net, providing assistance to those with the greatest need. Government, however, cannot do this work alone. We acknowledge and thank the churches, non-governmental organizations, and civic partners who continue to fill in the gaps, sometimes without recognition or funding, because they see the value in helping people rebuild their lives. And I'd just like to acknowledge those NGOs and churches and other partners. Please give them a round of applause for the work that they do. And a lot of times they do it in anonymity. They don't do it for self-grandizement because in a lot of instances, they remain anonymous. Your partnership strengthens this work, and your compassion makes a difference in the lives of individuals every single day. We are grateful and we welcome others to join us. It is our expectation that this temporary shelter, through its programs, will become known for the testimonies and stories shared of Bahamians who entered in need and exited it with direction and hope and renewed purpose. Together, we uplift families, strengthen communities, and restore hope. Together, we plant opportunity, build resistance, and inspire change. And together, we can show the nation that when compassion meets action, every Bahamian can rise. And before I sit, sometimes we get credit for things that have been started by others. I would be remiss if I did not mention the late Obadiah Hercules Wilchcomb, who was the minister that started this project, but also Minister Moxie and Kingsley, and my team at the Ministry of Social Services and Department, particularly in Grand Bahama, who have made the case for there to be a shelter. You know, growing up on the island, I could relate to those who talk about us being so Nassau-centric. And you're all close to Nassau. So imagine being from the southern Bahamas, and the further south you go, with the exception of Anagua, the worse you get treated. And so I would just like to congratulate my team for working, and be careful for my words, not under the best of conditions, who are assisting a public who are going through trying times. And so they are dealing with individuals who are not at their best. And they have been required to be restrained while others unleash on them. And every opportunity I get, I like to say that respect goes two ways. Just as you expect social service workers to respect you, and I admonish that, I admonish the public to realize that you must also respect
the workers in the Ministry of Social Services. They can't respond to a lot of the things that are out there. And I could tell you from social media posts and other malicious, vicious, and salacious stories that are put out there. And I could tell you these are human beings. I know of senior managers in my ministry who are suffering from serious health complications. We're talking about cancers and other conditions, and yet they show up to work. No one should have to endure that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. And at this point, I do humbly apologize, sir, for not recognizing you accordingly. But I will make amends, because I will ask all of you to, when you leave here, go home and pull out your yearbooks from back in the day. And I want you to see that you too were great athletes. And then you go and look in the mirror and ask yourself, what happened? And then you will get that answer. But I do humbly apologize, and being able to cover so many of these individuals, and even the news, and seeing what has transacted, I think here in Grand Bahama, we know it more than anybody else. And I've covered every hurricane you can think of here on this island, and seeing where we were, being called to take us through Dorian, and then to see that things are where they are today, and we keep our fingers crossed every day. And the social services component was there. And I want to thank all of you for helping to get our people back to where they are, especially here in Hurricane Alley, that is called Grand Bahama. So please, go get them yearbooks. I see these guys looking at themselves. Yeah, y'all used to be athletes too. But go back and look at it. You know, today is very special to a lot of my schoolmates from many, many years ago, having also to spend a year at Freeport High and then off to high school in Miami to Northwestern, and then come back here to Grand Bahama and spend every Saturday down here in West Grand Bahama, having a wonderful time, and then have to go back to get ready to find myself prepared to do track and field and soccer in the whole 9 yards. But to be home, and I think we, the folks, and I see a few of my schoolmates, we were that generation that believed that it was time to come home and make a difference in this country. And we've done that. And now the baton is passed on to the next generation, and it will be passed on to the next generation. And it is incumbent upon us to teach our young people the values and also the historical aspect of where we were, where we are, and where we are going to go. And I think that's very, very important. My wife is a teacher, my daughter, and the young people don't know where we were. They thought that this was instant grits. This just happened. This is to be all bush, but now we see what we have here today, and to see what is available to them in the future looks bright for us here in West Grand Bahama, and indeed the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I call her Plum Seed, and I call her that for many, many years, and she's a very good friend of mine. We go to different services. She goes to 7, I go to 10. She likes to get up early in the morning. But Dot Gomez, the minister referred to as Dorothea, but I refer to her as Dot, is the manager of the shelter here in this area. She will now bring you the vote of thanks. And she too used to be, and I say this very, very carefully, used to be a very good athlete. Please welcome Dot Gomez.
You ain't never tell me that one, Dot.
I didn't know that either. Good morning.
to each of you for sharing in this auspicious occasion. Standing on the protocol already established, I want to bring the curtains down with a special thanks to our guests, to the Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles Laroda, under whose remit this temporary shelter has been delivered to us today. Thank you for the force to make this dream a reality. The Honorable Ginger Moxey, the Minister of Grand Bahama, Mr. Kingsley Smith, MP for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Senator Kirkland Russell, Director of Urban Renewal, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Service and Information and Broadcasting, Ms. Phaedra Ramming Turnquest, Acting Director of the Department of Social Services, Mrs. Deidre Hepburn, Debbie Bartlett, Communications Director, and Mr. Spence Finlayson for the live broadcast. Of course, to my schoolmate, Mr. Ricardo Lightbourne, who kept us very much engaged during this program. You have all been instrumental in your presence and participation in endorsing this initiative. So in light of the occasion, I say thank you. To Reverend Kenneth Lewis, President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, this initiative needs prayers, so thank you for lifting the center up to God to be a blessing in this community. To all of the various governmental heads of the department, ministers of the gospel, other organizational leaders and representatives, to the organizers and senior staff of the Department of Social Services, and finally, to Assistant Director of the Department of Social Services, Ms. Jody Burrows, for presenting that warm welcome. I say a hearty thank you. To all of you present here today for making this shelter a reality, this dream being achieved, I say thank you. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, Paul encouraged the brethren, and I would like to leave these words. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain, this shelter will be a haven of rest for many. Thank you for supporting this initiative and have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Don. And I'd like to say to the Reverend gentleman that's here, I watched a minute ago when Dot began to quote the scripture, and they all knew it left, right, and center. But years ago, they were terror. And here they are today. Kermit, you don't have to hide. So that tells you, like I said, we are in a very good place. You know, when our teachers didn't give up on many of them, they are here today, and they are contributing in more ways than one to make our beautiful country the way it is. We now move over to the part of the program where we have the blessing of the building, and we're asking the ministers, the clergy, if you would venture over to the side there, and also we want to get Bishop Kermit Saunders. Also, we have, I think right. If we come up here and we can take care of that part of it and the blessing of the building, and then we'll go to the ribbon cutting. Okay, so we can get the ministers to go there, and while the gentleman give us that mark, we can make our way over to the area there. Thank you. Oops.
Thank you very much. Neighbors, friends, and partners in hope, to consecrate this place as a dwelling of dignity, safety, and new beginnings. With grateful hearts, we offer this blessing upon this residence and upon all who will cross its threshold. We bless these walls, that they may be sheltered those seeking rest, renewal and stability.
Late night.
May they stand strong against hardship and remain open to compassion. We bless these rooms, that they may be filled with peace rather than worry, comfort rather than fear, and belonging rather than loneliness. May every bed hold a person who knows that they are truly worth it and they matter. We bless the hands that build and prepared this place, the planners, the workers, the advocates, the donors, the visionaries, and the unseen helpers who labor with generosity and perseverance to make this home possible.
1, 2.
We bless the staff and caregivers who will serve this place. May they be granted patience, wisdom, and unwavering kindness. May their work be a source of strength.
The great Spence Finlayson. Now I can hear.
Fulfilling
yeah,
themselves.
you got.
We bless those who will live here. May this be a refuge where they can find respect, empowerment, and room to grow and prepare themselves as they launch into a greater future, strong and empowered. We bless this neighborhood and all who call it home, that mutual understanding may be deepened and compassion may flourish, and that together we may embody the truth, and every person is worthy of stability, love, and opportunity. And finally, O Lord, may this shelter stand as a beacon of hope and a testimony to what becomes possible when people choose care over indifference, welcome over exclusion, and share humanity over hardship. With gratitude and humility, we dedicate this home, its service, and its people to the doing of the Lord. Bless its future with peace, purpose, and abiding compassion. This we ask in Jesus' name, and all say, Amen. Amen.
As the members of the clergy will go over, we will then now have the cutting of the ribbon. A very good moment. There you go. There you go. Have the ribbon cutting over there. It's good to see many of the legends of West Grand Bahama, Gary Rango and McIntosh, and all those that have come here to be a part of this historic moment are here in beautiful West Grand Bahama. Do give them a round of applause as the ribbon will be cut, signifying the start of a unique project. I'd like to also say a special thank you to Ms. Deborah Smith, who has come from New Providence, who brought all her clothes here to Grand Bahama, and she's trying to get out of here before the weather comes in this weekend. We'd like to thank you especially for coming out and being with us in this cool morning here in beautiful West Grand Bahama. It has indeed been a pleasure for me to moderate here today. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give the round of applause. At this point, we will now...
welcome back, Dr. Bartlett. This is a great program today.
Isn't it really moving? And I could not help but reflect how important it is for us to acknowledge God.
Amen.
The worship
Amen.
The prayers of the spiritual leaders giving a covering that cements an environment that has been really expressed through the ministers, all of the ministers. I notice that there's that message of hope and compassion.
There's one minister who, the president of the Christian Council, Kenneth Lewis. I don't know if you remember him from SAC, but he's a SAC man.
You can show off now.
No. What is amazing, about a week ago, I was reflecting on SAC and how we hiked home from school. And he was one of those who hitchhiked with us from the front row.
Right.
Fox Hill, yeah. We just stick your finger out and jump on the back of a truck and they drop you home. But he's the president of the Christian Council down here, Kenneth Lewis.
You know,
look at God.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Rewarding character with prominence, but prominence with compassion. The President Lewis, I was very touched because he is right in alignment with what the Ministry of Social Services is talking about.
The Jesus Ministry.
Yes, but he said in his prayer, let us move from renting to ownership.
Yes, that's right. Yes,
and
yes.
you heard that central theme.
Right throughout.
Okay, we could be here right now and we need this shelter, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Let's not make this a permanent position. Let's move to ownership.
Good, great program here today, and it's a good news for the people of Grand Bahama.
It really
We've gone
is.
through so much.
Oh my God!
So much, Debbie.
I believe.
Trials,
I believe
temptations,
that the
tribulations.
I believe the people of Grand Bahama should have the resilience reward.
Yes.
And the endurance. But you know, that he who endures to the end. So we can say that we believe and we have faith.
Yes.
But, you know, whatever we say we believe in, it'll be tested.
That's right.
The people of Grand Bahama, they have been tested. And I believe when we see the results here, with the shelter,
that's right.
That feeling do you feel this kind of sense of unity, of purpose?
That's right.
And there's a defining line here. You know what I feel? It isn't just a job. It's from the heart.
Oh, amen. 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 We also heard from the MP, Ginger Moxie. The Honorable Ginger Moxie, the Minister for Grand Bahama.
Yes, you know, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, we know that she used to be a vice president of the Port Authority.
I remember.
Yes, you remember that.
Her, yes.
So when you want to see the quality of a leader, you look in their history.
That's right.
And
That's right.
We look at her history of performance in the Port Authority, and she's bringing that experience
right into the
public service.
Yes,
and but you know she's made the point in her. She made the point in her presentation that the Ministry of Grand Bahama intersects with social services.
Yes,
Spence, that's what we need. Hey.
That's for sure.
That people are working together.
Yes.
It isn't competition.
No, there's no competition.
It's completion.
Yes, that's right.
And everybody got their lane.
Everybody stay in the lane and do what they have to do.
Stay in the lane.
That's right.
I mean, that applies for anything in life.
Throughout life.
Throughout life.
Exactly.
You know this great woman?
I know this great woman. She's a great woman of God. She knows the Lord.
This is the same one, the parliamentary secretary. Guess what?
She knows
We're going to
the
ask
Lord.
her to come back. They just talked about her on the stage. She bought all her clothes for the weather. But
That's right.
we're going to let parliamentary secretary sit here for a minute, and you stay right back. Don't go because, you know, everybody lined up. We're going to have the parlor sec come here for a minute. And Miss Smith, this is the one time, gentlemen, before a lady.
Good to see you
Don't
again,
go.
sir.
Okay.
How you been, man? Good to see you. You look younger, man. What's going on?
That's seawater.
Okay. This is your turf.
That's fresh breeze.
Yeah,
Yes,
welcome.
it is.
Good to see you, sir.
Yes, good to
Man,
see you.
you look
as
well. What do you think about today's event?
And it's wonderful. This is a long time coming. 8 Mile Rock, of course, is the largest settlement in the Bahamas.
Yes.
And by extension, West Grand Bahama. We do have persons who are in need, who need a temporary shelter, a facility such as this.
Yes.
And I'm happy, and the people of West Grand Bahama are happy and pleased to know that although this was birthed by the former Member of Parliament, Mr. Obadiah Wisham.
Yes, yes.
It's good to see now Minister Lorota has taken over and brought it to the point where it's at today.
Just before you move on, because I think you make a very important point. I think it is a mark of maturity that when we acknowledge those whose
Yes.
shoulders we stand on.
Right, yes.
I want you to speak to that because the future will arrive and you're in a higher position.
Yes.
And there's a contribution that you're making. What role does teamwork,
Yes.
including the three tenses of the past, the present, and the future, mean in this situation and just generally to growth and development? Because you said this is not a pause here. This is a launching pad.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
As a launching pad to what?
A launching pad for a future, a brighter future for those individuals who may have fallen on hard times. I mean, it could be for any number of reasons that we find persons needing assistance. And so, what I like about this program by Social Service, you would have heard that not only that they're providing a shelter, but once you attend the shelter, they're offering programs.
Right.
They're offering whatever your circumstances may be, whether it's because of a financial difficulty. So they put you in a program geared toward how you would help yourself in the future about managing money. And it goes on and on. Speaking with Permanent Secretary at breakfast this morning, and so she also talked about some other stories where persons would have came through such a program and now have their own stores, their own shops.
Yes.
And is doing well.
Yes,
And
yes,
so
yes.
it's important not just to come to provide a roof and a bed, but also the statue of that launching pad to success to better yourself and your family.
Oh, and watch the integration, because the Prime Minister's office talk about upskilling. That's what's happening in social services.
Yes.
So we're not just here to encourage an entitlement culture, but
Correct.
a launching pad for more in the future.
Right. And it's the same thing as the Small Business Development Center. They offer money, they offer grants, but in doing so, they want you to go through a training session, a training program.
Right.
So when you do receive that funding, you know how to manage
That's
it.
right, yes, exactly.
Right? And it's the same idea here.
Well, just final comments here, because, there's something here. Wealth is in knowledge, and you're talking about providing. There's a consistent thread of training. Why is that important?
It's important because sometimes we don't have that training, and it causes to end up in such a position, right? So knowledge is power. We train you moving forward to know how to better manage your life.
Fantastic. Great place to end, because we got the Honorable Ginger Moxie standing by to come in.
Thank you.
The Honorable Kingsley Smith, they didn't say it, but Denzel Ainge Swain said you were a shooting guard in college. I heard Ricardo talking about all the other stuff, but we're going to let you go now.
Yes,
so you
thank
were
you.
shooting guard in
high
college.
school,
Well,
Good to see you, sir.
Well, we just now invite the Honorable Ginger Moxie to come on.
Yes,
I
the
don't
lady
know.
herself.
What happened? You looking young, hey?
That's right. The pride of Grand Bahama. Good to see you.
We were just talking about you when you want to know how ready a leader is. Look into their history, and you were one of the youngest vice presidents of the Port Authority.
Doing big things for years.
Yes.
And you
It's
just
been a
won't
while.
stop.
That's right.
Can't stop. There's too much work to be done.
What is it like to serve in this capacity as minister, and particularly in areas where circumstances, whether it's through family crisis, whether it is natural disasters, need the help of the government?
You know what? My background is in nonprofit. It is in giving back. It's in community outreach. So you would know that when I left the Port Authority, I left it to open up a nonprofit organization called 700 Partners to help those in need.
That's right.
And so that's exactly what I'm doing. Created the CoLab unit in the Ministry for Grand Bahama that is focused on assisting residents of Grand Bahama to address their basic needs. And so I am so excited to be here today to see what social services is doing in the West Grand Mama community. And we've been doing it also in the Freeport area through the CoLab unit with the Ministry for Grandmama's halfway houses in that community. But it's a great day. I applaud Minister LaRota and the Department of Social Services. It's greatly needed in this area. And this is my home.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I
Martintown, 8 Mile Rock.
But true?
Yes,
Oh, my
right
God,
here.
that's
So
wonderful.
like I said, we used to call it Beirut. Well,
Yes.
they still
you
call
did
it
say that.
They still call it Beirut.
Right.
But this is home, and I'm so happy for the people in this community.
Well, you know, halfway homes. This is one of the things. There are places in what we do that we lead,
Yes.
and we don't give ourselves the credit. The problem with leaders in the country is we have some of the greatest leaders in the world, except we don't know it.
That's right.
That's it.
When you look,
We don't tell the story.
We don't tell the story.
Enough.
Yes, we
That's
don't.
it.
You're a storyteller, though.
Yes.
Oh, if
yes.
it
You can
were-
help us tell the story.
Oh, hallelujah.
Amen.
Yes, yes.
That's
but,
right.
But you know what I am saying is, you talk about the halfway home. The minister and the permanent secretary have said we have to see how the Ministry of Grand Bahama intersects. And the
Yes.
point I was making is that is something when there is deliberate,
Yes.
strategic,
Yes.
intentional
Yes.
decisions
Absolutely.
to work together. And do you know
Absolutely.
the UN and a lot of the international bodies are saying they want to see more interagency integration and collaboration.
Collaborating, yep.
But I want
Collaboration, that's it.
Collaboration.
That's the key. It's collab.
collab.
The
Oh,
ministry
you got
is
it.
collab. The
yeah.
Ministry for Grand Bahama is a ministry of collaboration, a ministry of partnerships. Because if you think about it, before there was a Ministry for Grand Mama, governance already existed on this island
Yes.
and existed through various agencies. What the Ministry for Grand Bahama's job is to bring it all together and make things happen. And so at the table that I sit, I can call on the various agencies when we have a need, when there is a crisis, so that we can address specific needs. And so collaboration, that's my buzzword.
That's
the
you,
key
eh?
word. That's why I created a unit that's short for collaboration, collab.
I didn't know that.
Yes, collab, partnerships for development.
So you really is the one who could tell the story.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, 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 yes.
Absolutely. You know, it's about impacting lives, and we've been doing so many initiatives through CoLab. We created
Like what?
the beautiful Grandmama program that has employed over 600 individuals, and it's to give them a hand up. Because this is my thing. So many people were unemployed after Hurricane Dorian, and either they would have been coming to the social services line, or we could give them a job to do so many of the projects that went undone in the community through Beautiful Grand Bahama. And that's what we did. And through Beautiful Grand Bahama, we would have repaired 13 abandoned, dilapidated police homes in the area called Trip Circle. And with those homes, we turned them into transition homes, halfway homes, that assist those who are displaced from, Hurricane Dorian, or single mothers who were in need. And we created our resource center. We helped the kids to get into school. We, provided that 6-month stay. So it's a little different from here, but a 6-month stay so that they can get their lives together. So yes, we've been doing it. We've been trying to address the basic needs, and we utilize CoLab to do so much more, because it isn't just about the basic needs. It's also about the growth and development of Grand Mama Island. So we've been doing health fairs and so many other initiatives. We've, even with the dog situation, the stray dog situation, we bring players together
I remember that.
from various agencies and public and private sector, as well as NGOs, to help to get things done. And my heart goes out to the NGOs, because if it had not been for the NGOs after Hurricane Dorian, I have no idea where we'd be today. So I have a special place in my heart for NGOs in helping them to help us do what we need to do on behalf of the people.
I'm particularly spent, again, this is something that we really take for granted, but
Yes.
it really touches me when we hear that there's an intentional decision to help the police for example.
Yes.
The enforcement agencies.
Absolutely.
We don't really think about how they put their lives on the line with us every day. Or
Every day.
Or even the social workers who work through hurricane and their roof off.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
CoLab has been very instrumental.
Absolutely. They are our friends. They are our partners. We actually just came yesterday from the Urban Renewal Band that I got some uniforms for them. And the police, they've just been doing such an amazing job. So we have so many partners in the community, so many of the, other government agencies, as, of course, social services.
Yes.
They play a key role in all of this because most of the issues are social related. But we've been partnering to make things happen and to see where we have come from on this island. After, all of the hurricanes, not just Dorian, because Dorian was like the big one, but we've went through so much and then followed closely by the pandemic and all that was going on, and to see where we are with over $3.5 billion in investments, and to see the jobs that have been created, the entrepreneurial opportunities that have been created, and there's so much more to come.
You're talking about the cruise ports, for an example, that you're talking about the job creation. Are you identifying linkages for the small business person with the multi-billion-dollar investments?
Absolutely. See, because that's the point, right? It isn't just about the investment, it's about how the investments impact us. So it's about empowering our people. And so, for example, where we've created the Grand Bahama Icon sign, that's where we're doing a fishing hole cultural village to create those opportunities for our people. You have the shipyard that's right next door where the people who are coming off the ship when they go on dry dock and the ones that come and they work, they can actually walk right there and experience the cultural village. And then we want the people, the visitors, to come out of the gates of the cruise port into the community. That is key. And so we are creating at the Grand Bahama Arts and Crafts Center an experience called Island Impressions, where they get to have a taste of Junkanoo, where they get to make their costumes and then have to rush out afterwards. You have rake and scrape, you have, all of the things that are authentic to us, and they get to experience that. But we're also developing this Afro-Caribbean marketplace in the International Bazaar, where you have the 55 African countries, 20 Caribbean countries, 16 islands of the Bahamas, where you get to have this experience, of festivals and arts and craft and all of it. But we are creating opportunities for our people to be able to benefit, because it's about the Bahamian people.
Well, you have to take us on the jaw. That's the only thing.
Yes, absolutely.
So but people can only act on what you know. So you
yes.
heard, the Bahamians would say you heard a belly full of opportunities.
Right.
So now I hope that
I haven't even started.
What?
I haven't even started. There's so much to talk about, you know?
Right.
Yes.
So I have one challenge for you. That taking social services to the people, we like to see how people are impacted.
Yes.
And perhaps we can come down and see what you are
can come
talking
and
about.
see.
Right.
We can take you to see it.
Yes.
I just have to find the time to work that in.
Because, I'm
the one back and forth.
Yes, I
so
understand.
The only ministry outside of the capital.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
you have a. But you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so much.
we want to see you soon, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
For all of your energy and vision.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Good to see you, Minister. You look well.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Okay,
You look well.
All right.
Good. Okay.
All right, let's get the Minister, Miles LaRota.
The Honorable Miles
The Honorable
LaRota.
Miles LaRota. One thing I could say about Minister LaRota.
What is that you can say about him? I want to say
Let
something
me
about
tell
him
you go first,
Ricardo.
because this is your show. You
No,
go first.
I want to say something about him that Ricardo didn't say.
Yeah.
I know the minister from a great basketball player at AF Adley, who was a great shooter. He scored a lot of points back in the day.
Indeed.
Yeah, he was a great player. I'm surprised that Ricardo didn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
he's supposed to be a sportsman. That's why I had to.
I didn't know you could. You sure you could play?
Yeah, but he was a sharp shooter.
He was a
I
sharp
was
shooter.
captain of AF Adley basketball team, 1981.
What?
That's right.
Oh Lord! So Ricardo got schooled up there.
Yeah. Ricardo missed out on that.
Yes. But we all are rich for it. But one of the things, Minister, I noticed that you are a great defender of the staff of social services, and you just ain't playing with it.
No, because there's nothing I say that was not true. You have to, respect goes both ways. We are expected to be professional with individuals, and rightfully so, because we provide a service to the public. But there's also an obligation for clients to be respectful of the social workers also.
And, you know, when there is that mutual respect, it creates the environment to be productive, to execute a vision. And what is that environment that you, through your leadership, is trying to make a omnipresence in the country to move, as the president of the Christian Council of Grand Bahama said, from renting to ownership?
Indeed. And that is going to be, it requires a relationship. And this is what the relationship is. You come in as a client. I am in the agency. I have not only the capacity or the competence, but I have the programs backing behind me. And I have a plan that will get you from point A to point B, and all I ask you is to execute that plan. I'm prepared to help you to get from point A to point B. All I ask you for is your effort.
Yes.
And that effort leads to what you said.
Success.
And the restoration of purpose.
Indeed.
What is that purpose? I mean, you know, there are two things, Minister. We can exist. We know social services, and sometimes people still don't know the purpose.
And that is because of information goes two ways, you know.
Yes.
The giver and the receiver. For those who just looking at social services as an entity to quench my thirst, to put a roof over my head, and I believe that I'll stay here for as long as I can and then go to the next place where I could do it. Well, vis-a-vis, I could see social services there. They have a program that they say guarantees success if you follow the plan in its entirety. I should be able to give that a chance for at least 3 months, eh? Let me fill out my applications. If I can't do certain things technically, let me accept this. If my problem was that I made a lot of money but I wasted it, let me accept their training as an advice when it comes to my finances.
What's the most difficult experience in leadership? It's one thing to read the papers, to criticize, to be the weekend.
And anybody could read the papers. We want to be able to change people's lives.
Right.
And communication goes two ways. You can't want help and want it on your own terms. There are people who are prepared to help you, and if you really want to get out your position, then you at least try their formula.
Sometimes they call you a little hard.
Right.
Well, what in life that is good has ever come easy?
Nothing.
What in life?
Nothing.
There are formulas for failure. There's formulas for success. And when you speak to those who are successful, other than those who inherited wealth, you all hear the same thing.
Minister, I'd just like to liken you in your basketball days as a point guard coming down the court and running the show. That's exactly what you're doing here today.
Well, I play.
You see all the areas and you make them connected.
I learned one thing from a former coach I had, the late Byron Sanders, who was also my teacher at A.F. Adley.
Yes.
And he says the point guard on the team is supposed to be the smartest one on the team.
That's right. That's right.
Who you give the rock to, he is required to make good decisions.
That's right.
And Byron Sanders' philosophy was, because I don't say that I was the most talented, but I was an A1 student.
Yes, yes.
And so I'm going to trust that person who have the ability to make good decisions.
Exactly.
That was what he said.
Congratulations on this new accomplishment for the ministry again, social services in the trenches and on the move.
In the trenches.
The Jesus Ministry.
This is.
Yeah, no, you gave that brand of the Jesus Ministry, and it describes it. But I noticed that you emphasize this is temporary shelter.
It is. It is. This, you know, unlike the Ministry of Housing, who have long-term housing infrastructure, we don't. And even now, at 3 months, that's a pretty long time.
Right.
If you speak to people in social services, 5 years ago, temporary shelter was maybe 3-4 days a week max.
Yes.
We know that times are different, but again, you get assistance, but your assistance comes with requirements of you. We're saying to you, we are prepared to have you stay here with us. You just lost a job, or you're just getting your life back in order. For 3 months, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay light bill, you don't have to pay water bill. There are other assistance that you could get, maybe food assistance. And so we're giving you, if you pay it weekly, 12 paychecks that you could save.
Right.
Ideally, you say all, but you know there's always going to be some expenses.
Yes.
But you could save the majority of it to go back into society. That safety net that you have. You know, assistance is not, you know, infinitum.
You said this day symbolizes a day of the structure of change. What does that mean? Structure of change.
Yes, it means that you come in, that there is a place that you can get a reprieve, but we also talk about restoration. We also talk about hope.
Yes.
We talk about empowerment.
You talk about your dignity.
Dignity. Yeah. So you come in, you are not in the best position. Some people are at a very low point. If you're not working, here's what we're saying.
Yes.
If you have a talent, and everybody's got a talent, God gave all of us a talent.
Yes. Sure.
And you're developing that in the community centers.
We're saying we are prepared. If you can't do your resume, we'll try to help you with your resume writing.
Good stuff.
If you don't know how to dress for a job or go in at interviews,
We'll help with that.
we'll help you do that too.
Good stuff, Minister.
And I could tell you that we have some assistance, as if you may need, say, some clothing to go to that interview.
Good stuff.
And all we ask you to do is don't just take this without doing your part.
Right. Right. Good
All
stuff.
we're saying is use what we give you to better you.
Yes.
And in
Yes.
bettering you, yourself, you better your community.
Yes.
You better your country. Because I genuinely believe that most people want to be independent and take care of themselves. And when you look at this, I was speaking to somebody early on, and they were talking about the class and the standard of which the model room have, and the amenities here. And, you know, people say tongue-in-cheek, well, you know, they'll never get out. But, you know, sometimes we have to expose people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that becomes an inspiration.
Right.
You have this for 3 months.
Yes.
But it also means that if you buy into the program and you do what you're advised, that you may be able to have this for a long time.
Yes.
All you need to do is buy in.
Buy into it. Yes.
So
Just takes the buy
it's
in.
not out of your reach for you to get something like this. But if you want something like this, just put in the work, put in the effort.
Yes.
And with God's help, anything is possible.
Very true.
You know, all of us here
Yes.
were born into not ideal situations.
That's right.
When you look at our parents' generation,
That's
that
right.
great generation,
Yes.
they didn't have any political backing at all.
None.
They scrubbed floors.
Yes.
They did menial tasks. And, you know, I tell the story about my grandparents. Born in 1809 and 1810 respectively, and my great-grandmother born in 1884. Never thought the world was big enough for them to get a passport.
Right.
And all they wanted was a world where their kids and their grandkids have a better life.
Yes, yes, yes.
I prepared to take on the indignity, you know.
Yes.
But I work in, so that my children's life would be better than mine, that they don't have to go through what I went through.
Exactly.
And that's what all of us are.
That's right. That's exactly right, sir. That's exactly right.
Well, Minister, final words as we're going to talk to Deborah Smith. She put the gentleman first.
Reverend Dr. Deborah Smith.
Reverend Dr. Deborah Smith.
I would like to say that I'd like to thank the team, starting with the late O.B. Wilschkim, the staff, executives of the Ministry of Social Services, Department of Social Services. You know, there were other MPs who brought the need to the point where former Minister Wilschkim could bring there. This is not the end. There are some communities in the Family Islands, and you know, if all goes well, and this is going to be the standard by which it's going to be judged. The good thing about starting with high standards, you have to maintain it.
Yes,
you cannot tell somebody in Abaco or Eleuthero or Grand Bahama or Crooked Island that they're going to get something less.
That's right.
But the model, if it works, should be able to work elsewhere, because you know that people in the Family Islands, they're not afraid to work.
No.
Spence, that's one of the commitments that the minister had in terms of, I think he said that more than a year ago, and going into the Family Islands.
I remember they did a trip down to Crooked Island and a couple of the Aucklands and Crooked Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, and Long Key.
We had a hooty-tooty time in Auckland's Long Key and Crooked Island. Minister, we are so grateful to
Thank you
and
again.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. It's my pleasure. And I would like to see more of these happen. I would like to see, you know, as much Bahamians assisted as possible. But I'd also like for those clients to put in the effort to better themselves, because there are opportunities out there, and the bump that they may be going through, let it be just that, a bump in the road.
Yes.
This could be a place where you could recalibrate, get yourself ready, and move on to something positive.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Good to see you, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Great shooting, God.
Yes, you know.
We're going to welcome the Reverend now.
Yes,
the Reverend Doctor.
The Reverend Doctor.
The Reverend
now
Doctor.
we giving her the doctor because that's how excellent she is in her work.
She is.
And she is responsible as an assistant director for the Child Protection Unit. But
She's a great woman of God.
And a great woman of God.
Yes.
How you do?
Welcome.
Wonderful.
Good to see you, Doctor.
I love your work ethic.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
you
that.
really work hard, and she came in the office just the other day and was talking about her ideas about child protection. It's coming up in April.
Right.
And even though it is not what we're talking about necessarily, in a sense it is, because, you know, some of those clients who need shelter have children.
Right.
But what is very important is that those who serve us have a heart for what they do.
And she certainly do have a heart. She have a big heart.
Wow, thank you.
She have a big heart.
Thank you.
You came down here from Nassau.
Yes, I did.
And what does this mean to you?
This is wonderful. Good morning. Still good morning, Bahamas. It's wonderful. Here we grow again.
I love it.
Yes, here we grow again. And we, Department of Social Services, are so proud of this initiative. It adds to the complement of shelters we already have in New Providence. And we just need to say, though, to those persons who are hearing us, once you become a client and needs the shelter, there are policies and procedures that must be followed so that we can assist you with getting stronger. We can assist you with becoming self-reliant. We can assist you on becoming independent. So once you would have entered the shelter, there is the programs that are available that were spoken about that you would find yourself being asked to attend, to assist you with your budgeting, to assist you with childcare, to assist you with soft skills and able to find employment
better employment or additional employment to help you get out of the shelter. You may have heard in one of the speeches that it's not a permanent fix. It's just a landing pad that will launch you into independence.
Yes.
And we just want you to know that we're going to help you through the process, but you have to do your part. Allow us to help you. Be open to the help, and you would leave better than you came.
What is one or two of the most rewarding experiences when you see the clients that come at the doors of social services in very desperate need?
Yes.
And then you see the triumph and the transformation.
Yes, the transformation.
You know? Yes.
Metamorphosis.
Yes.
The metamorphosis.
The metamorphosis
It's
is right.
a complete. And why I use the term metamorphosis? Because once you retain that freedom, it's beautiful. Like a butterfly, it's beautiful. To see now this person who came with no work ethics now want to be employed, now want to provide for their children, now want to feel better about what they're doing.
Yes.
And that is why we take them through the process. Not just come into the shelter, but be prepared for that transformation.
You know, what makes you tick? Because I want you to answer that. I think we need to complete the broadcast with the permanent secretary. So tell her don't go nowhere.
Yes. The permanent secretary is coming up right.
Yes, right after this. But what moves you? What is it that you would like the public to know? Permanent secretary, please don't go. You have to come and close it out, okay? I see her look like she's getting ready to move. No, stay right there. But what is it that you would like the people of the Bahamas to know? Where are the areas that you feel social services is most misunderstood?
Probably the shelter unit. In the shelter unit, because sometimes people they read into it that you are inconsiderate when your time has ended, because remember there's a beginning but there's also an ending, and so sometimes they would read into it wrong that you are inconsiderate in what you're doing. And mostly from my experience that is what has been, or if you ask for an assistance and you were not qualified for it. So if you are not qualified for it, then we could have to say to you, at this particular time, however, these are referral sources that we can channel you into to assist you in this journey. But right now at the department, you do not qualify.
Understood. Yeah, nobody likes to hear about no, but sometimes no is a door to another opportunity. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's good to see you on this side of the
great woman of
Bahamas.
God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Isn't he a sharp fella?
Always.
The intellectual Spence Finlayson in the trenches. You have made such a big difference with social services.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
To God be all the glory.
Yeah.
To God be all the glory.
Your brain sharp and your dress sharp.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Madeleine.
Thank you. We'll meet in Nassau. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, let's say a little kudos for the inspiration of those clients who come through the doors of social services and inspire hard workers.
That's right.
Like can we just have the PS there for a moment?
Yeah, we need the PS.
Yeah. All righty.
Legendary PS. Yes, she's done an awesome job, eh?
Yeah, you think?
Always been a hard worker. And I'm partial to her because she went to that other school called SAC.
Oh, can I join that? I was there for about a semester.
Yes.
But I know of her kindness.
Yes.
From the days of youth. I always say, just look in somebody's history.
Ministry of Youth.
That's right,
In the
yes.
Ministry of
Taking me
Youth.
way back.
Way back.
Yes. What does this day mean?
Well, we're very pleased with the outcome, Debbie. It's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes. It was a vision that was left after Minister Wilshcombe, and we followed through with it. A lot of sticking points, and eventually today you see that we are one step closer. We were able to take the tour and see the beautiful model of what's to come, and look at the rooms of everything stocked up, waiting to be installed. And it's just the furnishings waiting now, and then we go live, hopefully next month at some point. And so to see
coming from Poinciana shelter that was government operated to another scenario where we're able to operate a shelter is a good thing.
Awesome.
And just to learn from that experience some of the do's and the don'ts. Some of the don'ts you learn from that, but then the successes of the do's, we'll build on them. And so you had just now Chief Social Worker Deborah Smith come and join you, who works with the team that looks at shelter and the programming that is led by Ms. Dawn Darling, who was actually the shelter manager at Poinciana. So the team in New Providence has been sharing with Ms. Dot Gomez, the veteran social worker, that we know, and we will continue to support her. She has a task of going out and seeking the partnerships in the community. Part of that is the nearby churches, the halls, the facilitators, those persons who want to come on board. You have volunteers that may want to get involved. You know, volunteerism anymore is not just free anymore. So we have to look at how we can meet them partially halfway, maybe with a little stipend or something there. But certainly we're looking for persons to come out and be a part of it. If you're retired, you have a skill. Minister was talking about helping with resume writing and the like. We do that to some degree. If persons say, well, you sent me for the job. You told me that this was available, but I couldn't fill out the application. You find that a lot of people can't even complete an application. And as simple as that, as having some type of support. Sometimes the social worker is able to do it. Other times there are persons who are linked to us through volunteerism who are able to offer some, practical assistance that can get them there. So today, are we happy? We're certainly happy because it is yet something else that we've achieved that we had our eyes focused on.
Yes, you should feel proud today, PS.
What is the role of family? Yes, I agree. And just as we close the show, your shows go faster.
Yeah, it goes fast. 2 hours.
But can I ask one more question?
Go ahead. Yes, go right ahead.
Yes. I think when we talk about support system, social services, two questions, just very briefly. What's the role of family in reducing the need for the shelters, and what is the demand like for shelters?
The demand is great. It has increased tremendously. And part of that scenario ties into what you're asking about family. Because you're having people declare themselves homeless and they're calling and they're saying, I need someplace to stay and I need someplace to stay now. And when they start to be interviewed, you find out that it's actually a conflict in the home. Maybe 30 years ago, those types of conflicts may have been tolerated. But in this day, it would appear that people are less tolerant. Families, young people saying family in anymore. That support system is not there. You're hearing, get out my house, or you're hearing, I live in your house.
Yeah, that is so
But you have to understand or appreciate that a family structure is intended to be the first tier of support to you, your family. Social assistance is just that, a safety net. When everything else has failed, then we try to step in and help. And so some people are deeming themselves homeless, and truly they aren't. They aren't. It's a matter of conflict. And sometimes when they call or if they apply, the social workers will sit with them, will ask to see the family, and sometimes we mediate, and sometimes they actually return to the home. But a lot of it is a lot of personal conflicts you're finding, and persons who simply saying, I just can't live with mommy, daddy, brother getting on my nerve, and a number of things. And the other part of it that we've seen is people say, I just can't make it, I can't afford the rent. I have my car payment, I have this, I have that. And so Miss Darling and the team there in their sessions, they show them the best ways of shopping, to get the best bang for your buck, not to get into debt as soon as you get that job, because you may get the job, you exit the shelter, and the next thing you know, you're back because you've gone in and you've gotten a loan for a car too quickly.
Right, exactly.
And so there's some quick tools that are going to be shared with them to keep them grounded.
Okay. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for having us,
Great
Spence.
DS. We're going to call on Ramiko now to close us out.
Okay.
It's a great day.
Yes.
The legendary anchor from ZNS in Freeport, the Northern Service.
Yeah,
Thank you, PS. Good to
both
see
of
you.
Thank you, PS.
Great job.
Yeah. There's a restoration in a culture of excellence that is emerging.
Yes.
And that is what's going to help us realize the vision of this is the greatest little country in the world. Look at this good-looking sharp fella.
I was to tell you, he's the second best dressed man in ZNS.
Stop it.
Right after you, eh?
Right after me. But he rules the Northern Service.
Thank you.
Rico,
I
good to see you
appreciate
again, brother.
I'm extremely excited and humbled by everything that took place today. And, you know, it's one thing to be a broadcaster. I try to do as much as I can to help the community. But,
do a great job,
you know,
brother.
and if I wasn't a part of, thank you. If I wasn't a part of ZNS, I'd probably be a part of the Ministry of Social Services.
Really?
Because it's an undescribable feeling that you get to know that you could put a smile on someone else's face.
Yes.
And I know, just looking at the comments on social media, how many people are so appreciative of what is taking place today, and that feeling alone makes you feel like you're doing something that's worthwhile. And you could go to bed smiling at night knowing if I didn't get nothing, at least somebody benefited from what I was able to do. So kudos to the Ministry of Social Services, the Department of Social Services, and everybody who played a part in making sure that this came to fruition.
But you know something? I see Ricardo Lightman. Ricardo, come poke your face in right here. People say that the media, because you are a part of social services through the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, but sometimes we don't realize how important it is for media. They say we're the fourth estate.
Yes.
I believe we are the first estate.
Right.
I can tell you why. Watch this. You can't get anything done without communication.
You can't.
That's true.
Right?
It is true.
And so for the media to be more sensitive to the lives of our Bahamian people in the various phases that we go through the valley.
Yes.
Like
you see it firsthand. You see everything firsthand.
How does that change you?
It humbles you. It really humbles you, and it causes you to be appreciative of the simple things. I spoke to so many people after Hurricane Dorian, and the way that has changed the perspective on life. The things that you used to make noise about or argue about become so insignificant when you see everything taken away, and the only thing that matters is what you have left.
That's right.
And the things that's most important becomes life, health, strength, everything else you could get back. But this one thing we have, this breath in our lungs, we can't get it back. And so you begin to appreciate things differently, and your perspective change. And that is what it has done for me. Every single day, my perspective is different on life. The things I was to complain about or make noise about, nothing.
That's good stuff.
We have to wrap.
Yeah.
There's a reporter who called me in Nassau. Very good reporter, said the same thing as you.
Yeah.
He now wants to work with social services.
Wow. Good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff. Well, this is.
We can talk all day if we keep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, the great Ramiko. I know his father well. His father is proud of him, and I'm proud of him. He's done such a great job as a news anchor here in Grand Bahama.
Thank you for keeping the standard and raising the standard.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dr. Deborah Bartlett, what can I say? Iconic Dr. Deborah Bartlett. Thank you for being here today, making it a great show.
Thank you.
This brings our program to an end here in Freeport, Grand Bahama at Pine Forest in 8 Mile Rock. But tune in again on Monday for another scintillating program on Immediate Response. God bless you as you live your best life now.
Moving families from dependency to self-sufficiency through economic empowerment. The Department of Social Services in Grand Bahama, under the auspices of the Ministry of Social Services Information and Broadcasting, presents the official opening of Grand Bahama Temporary Shelter, live from Pine Forest 8 Mile Rock.
At Fort Charlotte, I'm Garnell Dames. This is ZNS.
Colombian Supremo at $4.22. French roast, $4.16. Ooh, something freeze-dried at $4.01. How come people don't make cappuccinos in the morning, Tess?
They gotta go to work, honey. They don't have time.
But there's nothing but time. Well, everybody doesn't know that.
I'm on my way. I want to be there and ready.
Oh, come on.
No. Why can't the guys just meet me there?
It's too early.
What do you mean? It's only 7.
Why do they do it, Tess? They invent clocks, and then they become slaves to them. They make up little jobs, and then they become prisoners to them. They build all sorts of roads going nowhere, and they spend all their time going up and down and back and forth. And sometimes, I could just shake them. Well, in a nice way, I mean, of course.
You've been hitting that coffee a little too hard lately, huh?
Look, if he's dirty, he's going down, and I'm not going to wait around to about it.
He's the governor.
Ron. Ron, you know I'm right.
I don't think I could do a 9 to 5.
I don't think she could either. That young woman is a slave to more than her clock and a prisoner to more than her job. And I'm afraid she doesn't even need a car to drive herself to where she's going.
Deb, I cannot hear you. You're breaking up.
Ron,
Yeah.
let's just cut to the chase, okay? I mean, I am going to